Cord. Yep. Alrighty. So everybody just start to kind of get present on their mat. Grab any oils or anything you might want. Anything you need to get present. Just really taking stock of your body. Like, what does your body need tonight? Hair up, hair down. Does it need a smell? Does it need a candle? Does it need extra bolsters or pillows? Does it need a heater? Just kind of check in with what your body needs. And if you have oils, or even if you don't, we're just going to start with breath. So if you do have oils you want to use, kind of get them warmed up in your hands. And then inhale, breathing in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale nose. Exhale mouth. And one last time. Inhale nose. And exhale mouth. And then just let your awareness turn inward. And that might mean you close your eyes. It might mean you just adopt a soft gaze. Just kind of take stock of what's going on in your body tonight. Starting from your head and working all the way down to your toes. Just noticing what's going on, noticing any tension, any discomfort, anything good and light, warmth, coolness, any sensations. And then dip your awareness into your emotions and just notice what you're feeling in your body. And just take a peek at your thoughts. Just notice what's running through your head right now. And just imagine some sort of container in front of you. Might be a basket or a lockbox or a bucket. And inhale as your arms come up and kind of grab those sensations, those thoughts, those feelings. And on an exhale, release them into the bucket. I'm going to do that again. So inhale, you reach up and you kind of grab all of that out of your body and exhale into the bucket. One last time. Inhale. Exhale. And just kind of imagine that bucket, that box, whatever, just sitting to the side right now. You're aware that those things are there, and now you're just going to be present in your body. All right, let's begin. Inhale, arms go up. And exhale, twist to the left. Hand comes down on your right knee. Just look behind you. Kind of stretch into a twist. And inhale back to center. And exhale, twist to the right. Looking behind you. Inhale back to center. And again, to the left, exhale. Peeking behind you. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. One last time. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. And hands come back down to your lap. And inhale, bring your shoulders up to your ears and make little circles with it. Exhaling as you roll them down your back. Inhale as they come up. And exhale back. Just do a couple rounds of your own breath. Let it feel good in your body. And now inhale them up to your ears. And exhale, just roll them back and bring your arms behind you. Clasp your hands and just stretch your chest open. And inhale, coming back to center. Now just make some circles with your body. Exhale as you come down, warming up the hips, coming around. And inhale as you come back up. And just making some circles with your own body, coming down just as far as you would like. Just as far as it pleases you. And whenever you want to, you're welcome to change directions, going in the other way, other direction. Inhaling as you come up, and exhaling as you go back down. Warming up your spine, your low back, your hips. And then coming back to center when it feels right to you. Just a few seated cats and cows. So inhale, chest lifts, chin lifts. Exhale, round the back. 2 more rounds on your own breath. Inhaling as you come up and exhaling as you go back down. And then coming back to center. Just taking a second just to check in with your body as you're warming up, just noticing if there's anything else it needs, if it needs you to move in place, if it needs you to warm up any part of you that still feels kind of stiff, like your neck. You could take some neck circles. If it's your wrists, you can palms out and stretch just a little bit. Maybe it's your side. Maybe you want to inhale and bring an arm over and stretch your side body. And then come back the other way. Whatever feels good to you right now. Whatever you've done, whatever your body needs, just take a second to set an intention for today's practice. Just a kind of a way that you're going to show up for yourself. For me, the intention I offer for the class is just presence, just being present with your body and just noticing what's going on, not analyzing, not judging, just getting curious about what's going on in your body, just being with it. But whatever your intention is, whenever you have a good picture of it, just kind of imagine it lighting your whole self up. And then whenever that feels good, come down onto your back with your knees bent. Just taking a second to really feel grounded in this position, making sure that your feet are firm and flat on the floor. Palms are down on the ground, making sure you feel settled and in alignment. And then inhaling both arms up and exhaling, crossing them over in a hug. Really grasping your opposite sides, deepening the hug and walking your fingers towards your spine as much as you can, just to kind of stretch out your shoulders, your shoulder blades, your mid-back, all the stuff that gets so gummed up whenever we're working office jobs or manual labor jobs. And inhaling your arms out wide again. And exhaling, hugging in the other direction. So if your left arm was on top before, now it's on the bottom. And again, just deepening the stretch, really pulling that hug in tight, feeling a stretch on the back side of your shoulders. And inhaling your arms up again and clasping your fingers together, turning your palms up to the ceiling, and then just bringing them back as far as you'd like over your head. So it might be a complete stretch all the way up over your head, or maybe it's just a part of the way, whatever your shoulders want you to do. And just reaching up and stretching. You'll feel that in your side body, your lats, and your shoulders. And exhale, bring them back to the ceiling, unclasping your hands and bringing them down to the ground. Now, if you have a ball and you want to use it, this will be when you grab it. And if you don't have one, you don't want to use it, you can still totally do what we're about to do. So if you have a ball, put it right under your shoulder blade, kind of where, if you find your shoulder blade, moving it to where it's kind of halfway between your spine and your shoulder blade, you'll usually feel a little pressure point there of like, ooh, ouch. So whether you have a ball or not, we're just gonna bring our arm up like a rainbow over our head, just kind of working out some of that tension there in our shoulder, bringing it back down on the exhale, bringing it up on the inhale, bringing it down on the exhale. We're just working out that shoulder joint, bringing it up on the inhale, and bringing it down on the exhale. And taking the ball out and switching it to the other side. Whether you have a ball or not, that's a part of us that usually holds so much tension. So we're just kind of loosening it up. So on your other side, inhale your arm all the way up over your head. And exhale all the way down. Inhale over your head. Exhale down. Inhale over your head. And exhale down. And taking the ball out. And regardless of what you did, just hugging yourself in again. Bringing your arms up and crossing them over and doing a big hug. And arms come back up all the way. And exhale, crossing them over the opposite direction. Another big hug. And inhaling them up. And exhaling all the way down to the ground. Just take a second here just to check in with that part of your body. So we spent a lot of classes recently kind of working on the hips and all that we hold down there. And another space where we tend to hold so much of our emotional energy is up in our like shoulder neck area, which makes a lot of sense because you have your heart chakra, your throat chakra. There's lots of organs, there's lots of nerve bundles. And so that's one of the first things to kind of tense up and go on alert whenever we're feeling unsafe or when stuff is coming up. So all of these things are things you can do throughout the week just to kind of get in touch with that part of your body, but just notice what's going on. And after you feel like you're pretty aware, you're pretty present, come up to seated. And just take a second if you need to, because something else to keep in mind is, when we work like shoulders and neck and everything, with there being so many nerves and stuff there, I know for me, sometimes I get a little bit lightheaded when I come back up from things. So just giving yourself an extra second just to kind of adjust, just notice what's going on. Oh, and then making your way, if you want to, onto all fours. If you have some wrist issues going on, I noticed there's a little bit of that going on tonight. You can still totally do this. Just kind of come back into hero's pose and don't put pressure on your wrists. So what that would look like from here is we're going to open up on the left And exhale, thread the needle coming down on our left shoulder. If you were sitting in hero's pose, just kind of the same thing, just a little bit of a different angle. Left up, and then we're gonna just kind of come down onto our shoulder like this. So be really gentle with yourself, whichever way you're doing it. But the goal is to come down, have your left palm facing up, and just really feeling that stretch in your shoulder girdle area into your neck. And just breathing and releasing. Imagine just any of that tension flowing out with it, any of the emotional energy associated with it. And on an inhale, coming back to center. Readjusting, whether you're in hero's pose or in all fours. Right arm comes up for a big twist. And exhale, thread the needle and come down on the right shoulder. Right palm facing up. You're feeling that stretch over in your shoulder girdle, your lat. And just releasing and breathing out any of the tension you're noticing. And on an inhale, coming back up to all fours or to hero's pose. Whatever you chose, just widening your knees out a little bit and sitting back in a child's pose. Your arms can be at a place that you're choosing. They can be pillowing your head. They can be stretched out in front of you. They can be to your sides, whatever feels right in your body. Just breathing and imagining all of this stuff we're releasing just flowing off of you and into the mat. And then whenever you're ready, doing a similar thing to what we just did. So wherever you're at in child's pose, you're just kind of opening up a little bit in a twist. You might even bring your arm up if you choose. And you exhale, threading the needle through in child's pose. So you're coming down. It's just a different way of getting to different parts of our upper body, different places where the tension might be held. And on an inhale, coming back to center. And opening up into a little twist in the other direction. I'm threading the needle here too. I'm coming down on that opposite shoulder. Just breathing. And coming back to center. One final stretch in child's pose. Really walk your fingers up as far as you can to stretch out the upper part of your back. Maybe even tent your fingers up on the tips just to create more of a stretch. Just really sink into it. And coming back down, walking your hands in and sitting back on your seat. Again, moving slow. Just take a second to just notice whatever there is to notice, anything that anything that's coming up, anything that you're seeing or sensing. And if that feels good, coming to a place where your feet are stretched out in front of you, active feet, so where our feet are flexed, they're not pointing forward, so you can say not pointing forward, but they're flexed and active, which will help kind of engage our seat. And just take a second here. It's almost like a seated mountain pose in a lot of ways, where you're just tall, you're engaged, feeling steady. And then bringing your left foot in for a seated tree. So that means left foot will kind of come into either your calf or to your thigh. And even from here, just seated, just growing tall, feeling engaged. You might even want to grow your arms if that feels right to you. And since our shoulders are the name of the game today, you might even want to kind of move around a little bit. Maybe you clasp your hands and stretch your tree from right to left, or maybe you wave your arms around, or maybe you just want to move them a little bit. Again, we're just releasing all the built up stuff that gets in these parts of our body. And coming back down, you can stay right here. And if you want to play just a little bit, taking, and only if you don't have wrist issues, taking your left hand behind the bent leg. So finding which one is bent, taking your left hand behind as a kickstand, using your extended heel to help you. And inhale, just pushing up into kind of a bridge. So it's baby wild thing, and you're just in a little bit of a stretch backwards. And coming back down on the exhale. And then coming forward and folding over your outstretched leg. And just breathe and release here. And just take like a second to be aware of what's going on in your body. Sometimes we don't even realize how much we can release from our upper body when we're doing something like this. Just noticing where your hands are, you can stretch out a little bit more to engage more of your upper body. You can hang your head and really let all the tension come out of your neck. You can change some hand positions and maybe even put your hands on the ground just to get more of an upper body stretch. There's so much we can do just to let this part of us release too. And on an inhale, gently coming back up to seated. Bringing both feet together wherever you want to have them. They can be out here, they can be closer into you, whatever feels right. And just kind of rocking back and forth gently. Or you might want to stay still, whatever fits for you. And then whenever you kind of feel what fits for you, settling down into the center of it. And taking our hands and just bringing them forward. Again, kind of creating a stretch in our upper body, letting our head gently come down and release. It's not so much about bending our body over at the waist. It's about letting our upper body just come down, melt into the ground, and release. You might notice as you do this, my awareness from this is I feel kind of a pulling in the space in my low, kind of between my mid and low back. There's like a little connection. I think it's kind of between my lat and my obliques, and I just feel it kind of pulling here. So you might notice some different sensations in your shoulders, your back, just releasing and letting that kind of melt out and stretch out. And inhaling, coming back up gently, taking a second. And then switching legs. So outstretching the other leg, bringing one of your knees in, seated tree, just growing tall. Again, if you choose, you can bring your arms into the picture and stretch and sway, whatever fits for you. And if you choose, you can take the hand that is beside the bent leg, using it as a kickstand, outstretched heel. Inhale, coming up into a bridge, baby wild thing. And exhale, coming down when you're ready. Inhaling that back arm up and over and stretching out over the outstretched leg. Again, it's about the upper body. So just not about bending full over and flat, just letting everything release up high on you. As you do it, just thinking about how many chakras are up there. You got your crown chakra, your third eye. You got one of the meridians for shame and guilt. You've got your throat chakra. You've got your heart chakra. There's so much going on up there. And just kind of letting things settle and flow. And slowly coming back up on an inhale when you're ready. Bringing both feet in together. Again, just kind of finding that space where you're settled and your tailbone feels good on the ground. Whenever you find it, kind of settling in the middle. And folding over in whatever way allows your upper body to release. Again, it's not about how far you fold at the waist, though you can certainly do that, but it's just about letting everything up top just disengage for a minute. And breathing. And once again, you can totally, if you want to pull your arms into it and stretch them out, you totally can. Whatever feels right to you. And inhaling, coming back up to center. If you have any bolsters or pillows or anything, you're welcome to kind of get them set up for this next one. Totally don't have to. We're just going to kind of do a gentle kind of little back bend. So getting them set up behind you so that your seat is still on the ground. And the pillows or the bolster kind of come up to your seat. And on an inhale, raising your arms up, and exhale, kind of folding back over the pillow so that you come down. If you notice, it's almost like our back, our chest, everything is just so open over the pillow. Your arms can be out wide. They can be out behind your head. Just a breathing into this position. So just a gentle, gentle back bend there. And here, wherever you're at, just releasing and melting into this for 10 of your own breaths, however long those take. And whenever you're done with 10 breaths, you can just slowly roll to one of your sides. But I'm just totally going to leave you with your breath. Just whenever you get to your 10th breath, absolutely no rush. Just roll over onto your side. Remove your bolsters. And slowly kind of push yourself up back to seated. And just taking a second to get there, to get acclimated. And just tune into your body for a second. Just notice what you're feeling and sensing. Check in especially with your neck, with your shoulders. Just see what's going on there. Wonderful. Now getting back on our back. Knees bent, coming down. And bring your feet out to the width of the mat. So they're not in like this. They're kind of out on the sides of my mat, maybe a little bit wider because I kind of feel better there. And on an exhale, both knees fall to the left, kind of like windshield wipers. And inhale, they come back up. Exhale, they fall to the right. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. Inhale up. Exhale right. Inhale up. One last round. Exhale to the left. Inhale up. Exhale right. Inhale up. And just hugging your knees in to your chest or as far as you want them to go. Maybe rocking around a little bit. In the circles, just kind of massaging your back. And at the same time, you're kind of stretching out your shoulders, really, if you think about it, because you're kind of pulling them out this way. It's kind of the opposite action of your legs and your arms, or the opposing action. There you go. And bringing knees or feet back down to the mat. We're going to move into some bridges. And so if you have a bolster and you wanted to use it for a restorative, not a bolster, a block, and you wanted to use it for a restorative bridge, feel free. I'm just taking some dynamic movement. So inhale, bringing bridge up, arms up over our head. And exhale, coming back down. Inhale, everything comes up. Exhaling, it comes down. Inhaling up, just noticing how even this is kind of massaging our shoulders and our traps. And exhale, coming down. You can stay with this. You can come up and put a block under your sacrum if you want. You can just chill on the ground with your arms up and over if you want to. Whatever feels right in your body. No right or wrong here. It's just, what do I need right now? You can make up something here too. That's the beauty of this, just whatever feels good. Just staying with whatever you chose for like 5 more breaths, your own pace. And when you're done with that, coming out of whatever you chose, and again, hugging your knees into your chest, really engaging everything to kind of feel a gentle stretch through your arms as you hold on to your knees. You can kind of bicycle your legs and stretch one arm and then the other, whatever feels right. And coming back down to the ground. And just checking in with yourself, checking in with your body once again, just noticing what's going on, getting curious. And inhaling your left leg up and crossing it over your right leg on the exhale. And you probably know the drill. This might be enough sensation right here. And if it's not, if you want more sensation, pressing gently on that crossed over leg or pulling up the leg that was on the floor and hugging the hamstring. Whatever gives you whatever you're looking for. When you hear me say that, I know sometimes people might be kind of confused because we're so not used sometimes to just checking in and seeing what does my body need. It might even be a foreign kind of concept. And so I just go with like what feels good. Like if it doesn't feel good or you don't feel anything, like maybe changing it up a little bit and just seeing what you get, seeing if you like it. If you don't like it, don't do it. And just breathing wherever you're at. And coming back down on your next breath. And switching your legs over. So this time my right leg is crossing over my left. And again, checking in, just seeing what does this side need? Do I like that? Do I want to pull in the other hamstring? Just noticing what feels okay. And you might notice as you're breathing in one position that it stops feeling okay. Guess what? You can take it down. You don't have to stay there. You may choose to, you may choose not to. It is your choice. And staying with your breath for a little bit. And then coming back down. And taking your, like leaving your feet where they're at, so knees are bent. Picking up your hips just a little bit and moving them like an inch to the right, which will naturally let your knees fall over to the left. So you'll have a little spinal twist going on here. One leg might be stacked on the other. You can stretch your arms out to a T. You might choose to look over the opposite shoulder. That might feel good in your neck and your upper back. But finding what feels good and going there and breathing. And inhaling your knees to center, straightening your hips back out. Just taking a second to get settled. And then picking your hips up and dropping them an inch to the left so your knees fall over to the right. And once again, just seeing what feels good and right in your body. My arms are at a T. I'm going to kind of look over the opposite shoulder. You pick what feels right to you. And on your next breath, just coming back to center. Again, kind of straightening out. And I'll invite you to prepare for just a little inversion. And when I say that, I mean, if you have a chair in front of you, you might just choose to put your legs over the chair like this. If you have nothing, you just want to stick your legs straight in the air, you can for waterfall. If you want to move up against a wall, feel free, go for it. Move up against a wall, put your legs up the wall. Get settled however it feels good to you. And whenever you're there, just resting for a little bit. I don't know what's feeling good to me today, so I might move around a little bit, and that's okay. But really imagining that sensation of just lymphatic drainage kind of coming from your feet and all the way down, but also just kind of the energetic picture of everything that weighs us down and keeps us stuck and just builds up from our days and our weeks. Just imagine it flowing back to your center where your subtle body can kind of take care of it and release it today. I'm really staying with your breath and also just that visual of your energy system knows what to do with it when we just breathe and let it do its work. So just imagining it taking care of any of the ick, getting it out of you right now. I'm staying with this for about 5 more breaths. Whenever you feel ready, just coming down and out of it, making our way towards where we're going to end up in Shavasana. So just taking your time getting there, however you want to get there. Taking with you whatever you need. If that's a sip of water, if that's a pillow, if that's a blanket, if that's a candle, if it's turning out the lights. Really going with that idea of just letting it all melt, especially from all that neck and upper body crap we hold on to. And so if you sense anything that's still holding on right now, just tensing up in that muscle group and breathing out, relaxing down to the ground, and doing that as many times as you need just to release and relax. And we'll drop into Shavasana in 3, 2, 1. And starting to bring just a little bit of awareness into your fingers and toes. And letting your breath deepen. Whenever you're ready, rolling over onto your favorite side. And just curling up for a second. Just giving yourself time and space to re-enter into the world. When you feel ready, only when you feel ready, coming up to a seated position slowly. Getting settled and situated. Soft gaze or eyes still closed. And just take a second to just notice your bucket over there that you put everything in the beginning. And just think about what you need to do with it. Do you need to do anything with it? Has it kind of evaporated on its own? Is there anything new you need to throw in there? Is there anything you need to take back? Just noticing what you want to do with it. Whenever you figured that out or you have an idea, just inhaling your arms up to the sky and exhaling, pausing at your first chakra, your crown, your second, your third eye, and pausing at your chin, pausing at your throat, and finally letting your head bow at your heart. And just have a moment of awareness of all those upper chakras that do so much of our kind of our heavy thinking, lifting throughout the days. And just really imagine all of that supporting you and just moving some of that energy through your energy system and letting it kind of flow out through your bottom chakras. And the badass in me bows with deep, deep gratitude to the badass in you. We are one. Namaste.